Good evening, Happy New Year, and welcome to a brand new episode of Denn is What Is. I'm your host, the Jamaican Actor Boy. In this episode, you'll get to see all the features of our show that you've come to know and love, such as crappy camera work, ludicrous lighting, and extremely bad editing. But, as this is an all-new year in review, we'll share all the highlights and low-hanging light bulbs from the year 2020. Get your time machines ready. We go back to the future right after the break. Welcome back. 2020 saw the arrival and departure of many a trend, especially on the social media ends. One such trend provides us with our number 10 story. We're standing at the intersection of Delete Street and Blocks Avenue, where it appears yet another influencer has disappeared. The disappearance follows allegations of hypocrisy on the part of the influencer, whose opinions on a matter don't seem to align with his actions. He was attacked by a group of known and unknown assailants who were members of the notorious Twitter Bandit gang, whose other victims have included celebrated attorneys, doctors, stylists, entrepreneurs, and marketers. According to regular residents of the Twitter community, no one is safe from the Twitter Bandit gang, whose membership grows and rotates per grievance by an influencer. Yeah, once upon a time, popular people could have get away with anything, but now, from you slip your mudslide. The officers of the Twitter task force have been combing the timelines trying to ascertain the location of the bandits.
So what really go on now is that them hide behind Bono. What really go on now is that them hide within the screen, yeah? And then we come for you, burn up. Then we forward for you and you can't even defend yourself, and that really go down. Is it?
But with a rising number of cancellations, the regular users of the community are now left to solve the mystery of why can't they all just get along. This brings the total number of cancellations of this nature to 8 in recent weeks. I'm Ronnie, the roving reporter, your man on the scene, wishing you long life and good wealth. Back to you, Jim Bob. Certainly, the year 2020 would not have been as festive as it was without the actions and antics of the most powerful man in the world. On Twitter. He sat in one of the most respected seats in the world, besides a toilet. So he was always saying, I am the winningest president. The numbers are there. Look at the numbers. Doing. Yet, they will show you that I'm the winningest president. Look at it. Look at it. But nowhere was his strangeness more widely demonstrated than on social media, particularly the Bird app park. This hat is a sword and shield. You need to comment down below to order it, buy it, get it. It's very important. This is a winner's hat. This is a winner's hat. By the time Pick a Playground Captain came around, the situation had gotten so bad that he was banned from the Bird app park, much to the delight of the millions of users who had grown weary of his abuse of the community. In my time as resident, I did many unprecedented things. I have a letter. I have a letter from the Secret Servants that prove they don't want me to stay resident. They're trying to get me to be unprecedented. But it won't work. Because we're going to win. Because winners win. Back to you, Jib. Before we press on, there is something I need to address. It appears an error presented itself in the final edit of our special New Year's Day special. And, unfortunately, this time I am involved. In the previous episode, I announced that Green Book was the award-winning picture of 2018. But in fact, Green Book won the award in 2019 as the 2018 winner was The Shape of Water. The truth is, I read so many stories on a daily basis, and I don't always get a chance to fact check. And so, I trusted that Ricky, the youngster we hired a few weeks ago, on inserting the information would do his due diligence to check that all the facts were correct, but he didn't. And so for that, I apologize to all of you, because I am not able to select a crew which is as competent and as perfect as I am. And to mark you this day, I shall be writing to HR to have him removed haste post haste. If this error happens again, I thank you.
You put on weight. Lord, she draw down though. Then she not do her ear. The one we always wear the black shirt them. Oh, them paint over the building.
Welcome back to Denn is What Is, an all-new year in review. I'm your host, the Jamaican Actor Boy. We get right back into sharing our highlights and lowlights of 2020 with our number 8 story. Our number 8 story fell slap braps in our laps following a dreadful pandemonium on social media. Apparently, a little girl with a full head of dreads was told she'd have to get her learning at home or elsewhere instead. When such a mother enrolled her son at such a school in 2015, she did not expect they'd ask him to leave until he cut his locks. Nor did the parents of the little girl in 2018 expect they'd have a similar encounter. Naturally, the school's response was a shocker for these parents.
No, I am not going to take her from the school, and I'm not going to cut off her locks. If they want her to leave, they have to send her out, at which point I'll find another school.
But no one took it harder than the residents of Twitter, who stormed the streets armed with sarcasm and anecdotes to berate the powers that be for the alleged lapse in the system. The timeline was again sent into a frenzy in 2020 when the Supreme Court ruled that the 5-year-old's rights had not been breached in 2018 when the story first earned notoriety. It's unfortunate, residents say, that a Jamaican court could... It's unfortunate, residents say, that a Jamaican court could pass such a judgment on the eve of Emancipation Day. Yet, here we are.
What is education really worth if the quality depends on how my child's hair looks?
And yes, I did wear my hair like this in solidarity. Hashtag new hair, hashtag don't care, hashtag back to you, Jabe. 'Twas mere months before
America,
scheduled elections
United Space
unraveled that it seems. It seems the ethnic threads had finally broken loose, and that drove a bigger wedge between both teams. In May, an adult Caucasoid flatfoot took a knee to the neck of George Floyd, a man he'd accosted for using a counterfeit bill. An ironic choice, given the general white-wing attitude towards knees and kneeling. For close to 10 minutes, Floyd repeatedly told the lawman,
I can't breathe.
And even called upon his ancestors,
Mama!
and his late mother for help. But with the weight of the man pressing against his throat, his breath of life ceased to flow. Floyd's death, coupled with that of Breonna Taylor, whose life was taken under equally eye-raising circumstances, along with several other accounts of travesties endured by Negroid citizens, catalyzed a massive protest.
It's me again, but abroad. I'm actually standing in the middle of the street in the nation's capital, just a few feet away from the protest. In fact, just a few moments ago, we spoke
to a protester who had this chilling message.
Sir, why is it important for you to be here?
They got us feeling like Snickers, because they eating us niggas alive. But we ain't gonna stand for that, feel me? Let's go! I'm Ronnie the roving reporter. Back to you, Jibby.
We take a quick break from our countdown to highlight the work of phenomenal writer Maya Wilkinson. It's a film titled Pa, the product of an actor-writer collaboration organized by the Quilt Performing Arts Company sometime last year. The production was shot and edited by the talented Jada Biggs of AP-Ron Digital Pro. Take a look. Sometimes, the villain and the hero are the same. I didn't just pick a fight. I did exactly what I had to do to protect myself. I mean, I could have handled things a little differently. Take a deep breath, like you always say, Ma. But it was just a flash off. A flash off. All I could see was red. Talk about wow. If you enjoyed that highlight as much as we did, comment more down below and our producers will take stock of your requests and work towards getting the film into rotation on this network. And now, our number 6 story. Naturally, disasters seemed very on brand for 2020, a year which has since been regarded as the most disastrous year in modern history. Jamaica is one country that knows the truth behind this statement and is deserving of a feature. And that is because sections of the most prettiest little dot in the world were left in near shambles after seemingly touching the hem of a garment belonging to Mother Nature.
For years, the earthquake people in Kingston warned that we were due some amount of seismic activity. Something about the fault lines shifting, the details of which I can't remember right now. Further afield, residents continued to cry for rains to combat the dangerously low water pressure in the country's rivers and the Mona Dam it after all. Well, it all came to foot this past hurricane season, where weeks of showers and isolated thunderstorms colluded and corroborated with earthquakes and midnight tremors, and together they had a whale of a time. Or poorly produced roads, not to be confused with our poorly produced show, were no match for the subsequent flooding and destruction that spread deep and wide. Naturally, such men were concerned about the meteorological developments, especially the quakes.
Country a move shaky star. The big man upstairs, him no please. That's why I must shook him out. Ah! We're sturdy.
Well, whatever the case may be, the one thing we all can see is that this country is in shambles. Back to you, Johannesburg.
Number 5. Oh. It appears we're getting the wrap-up signal from the producers even though we're only halfway through the episode. So, a special thanks to all of you, our 1,003,000 plus viewers. Do continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to share the laughs. As always, I'm your host, the Jamaican Actor Boy. Do stay tuned to this channel for more updates, especially on part 2. See you next time.